Welcome to the Sanders Kitchen. I'm Mike, and today we have a great recipe for you. It's going to be called Bananas Foster Bread Pudding. We have a lot of ingredients for Bananas Foster Bread Pudding, and everything will be listed in the description below. So we're just going to go ahead and get started cooking. If you're new to our channel, just take a second, pause the video, stop it, and subscribe to our channel. We really appreciate that. If you're coming back to watch our videos again, hey, we love you guys, and thank you so much for coming back to the Sanders Kitchen. I hope today's going to be a great recipe for you. I know it will. The first step is to take a tablespoon of butter with a piece of paper towel, or you could just use your fingers, and spread that butter as generously as you can all over the baking utensil that you're going to use. You may not have one like this, and it may not necessarily have to have as high a sides. But see if you could find one that does, because this is going to be a kind of a high bread pudding. Now we're going to pour in a cup of pecans and spread them out. Okay, we're going to set this aside. Go on to the next step. We want to cut up a whole loaf of French bread. Cut it in about 1/2-inch slices, and then a couple of slices at a time. You just want to go across and then come back and make little squares like this. Little 1/2-inch squares. And if they don't have to be perfect, but that's how I like them. I'll finish this up and then we'll go on to our next step. All right, next step is to make the egg custard. So we're going to put in 8 jumbo eggs. We're going to whisk up those eggs, just beat them up a little bit. Then we're going to pour in a cup of heavy cream. And we have a few other ingredients that we're going to put in. But we're going to start off with the banana liqueur, and that is 3 tablespoons, which is 2/3 of this jigger. Some spiced rum. Same thing, 2/3. And we need 2 tablespoons of this light corn syrup. That's 1, and that's 2. And a teaspoon of vanilla. There we go. Oh, it smells so good. So we're just going to whip this up good. It's good enough. Now, we're going to pour this all over our bread. Like that. Let me find a spoon. We're going to press it all down. See how much bread there is? If you can see that. And believe me, it's all going to get squished down. You know how I really like to do this? Like this, watch. You want to make sure that all of the bread gets saturated with the egg custard. Okay. And we're just going to let this set and let that bread absorb every bit of that custard while we're on to the next step, because we need to make the topping. Like I said, there's quite a few steps to this, so hang with me. It's worth it. We're going to take about 1/2 banana here, and we're going to take about 6 ounces of this 8-ounce block of cream cheese. put it in here. Roll that up. And then I'm going to mash a banana, half a banana, into the cream cheese, because this is going to go into the bread pudding. Let's go to the next step. We got to make the topping, you guys. So we're going to start off by melting an entire stick of butter on a medium heat. So when the butter melts completely, then we'll add the sugar. So it'll just take a minute. All right, the sugar is going in now because the butter, I packed it in really good too. So we have 1 cup of packed brown sugar. Okay. Then we want to melt the sugar and the butter together. Going to make like a little syrup. We're going to add in a little pinch of cinnamon. Not much. We're going in again with 2 tablespoons of light corn syrup. And it is pretty light. It tastes good. 2 tablespoons. And a teaspoon of vanilla. Okay. And for the last 2 ingredients, which is the rum and the banana liqueur, we'll be turning the fire off. Okay, fire's off. About 2/3, maybe half. So you can go with 2 tablespoons or possibly 3, whatever you like. Now the banana liqueur, gotta have that banana flavor. Let's stir that up nicely. Okay, fire's back on. Now we have a sauce working here. Don't worry if you made too much. We're going to add it to the bread. Okay, now you want to take your topping and just pour it right over those pecans. And you just want to make sure that you're covering the pecans. Okay. All right, I think that looks good. Okay, and you know what? You could spread the pecans out a little bit if you want to, no problem. And we still have some left over, so I'll show you what to do that in a little while. Right now, we're going to move this, and I'm going to cut open my bananas. Now, I'm going to slice the bananas on a bias like this. And we're cutting them about 1/4 inch thick. And now we're just going to layer these around the side like this. And then we'll go all the way around, and then we'll just start layering them in across. And you just want to make sure you have the whole top covered with banana. Now I'm going to finish doing this off camera, and when you come back you'll see how it's all covered up. Wow, this is coming together great. We're just going to add a pinch of cinnamon to the custard and the bread is really looking good. And we're going to mix that up a little bit. Now remember earlier I said if you have too much sauce, you don't just reserve it, because now what we're going to do is pour it in. And just because I want to know about how much it is, I'm going to put it in a measuring cup. So it looks like about 2/3 of a cup. That's what's left. So I'm going to add all of that in. I'm not wasting it, and I'm not saving it. So I'm just adding it in, and we'll mix it in real good. And now it's time to assemble the rest of the bread pudding. Okay, so to assemble, we're just going to put a layer of this bread pudding over the bananas, and we'll just smooth it out a little bit, okay? We're going to take some of this wonderful cream cheese that we mixed. Oh, by the way, I just said, you know what am I going to do with 2 ounces of cream cheese left over? So I added the rest of the banana to the other rest of the cream cheese. And so we have 8 ounces of cream cheese and a whole banana. Doesn't have to be perfect. And now we're going in with the rest of the bread pudding. Now we're just going to cover it and refrigerate it for 2 hours. We just took the Bananas Foster bread pudding out of the refrigerator. It's been 2 hours. We're going to put it in the oven now. It's been preheated to 375. That's Fahrenheit. And we're going to put this in for 35 minutes. And then we'll show you what it looks like when it comes out. The Bananas Foster bread pudding is out of the oven. It's looking beautiful. And it's got to cool down before we can fool around with it. But I can show you this part. You take a little scraper and push it all the way down until it hits the bottom. And do that all the way around so that you can free up the sides. So in about 30 minutes, we're going to let this cool down. Then we'll be able to handle it so we can flip it over. But for right now, it's just going to sit here and cool off. So we'll be back in probably a half hour. It's been about a half hour since we took the Bananas Foster bread pudding out of the oven. It's a little warm, not bad, but it's hot, kind of hot on the bottom side. So what I'm going to do is put my glove on like this on my right hand. And let me just bring this up here. You really do want to make sure that you've released it all the way around, okay, which we've done a couple of times. Now, I'm going to move this over. It's really not that complicated. Now, this platter is kind of big, but it fits. So what we're going to do, I'm just going to move this over, get my hand underneath, and I'm going to press it together and turn it over and put it back down. So I'm just going to lift it up, turn this over, and move that out of the way. And there is your Bananas Foster bread pudding. It's beautiful. This Banana Foster's bread pudding smells so good, and it's beautiful, and it's time to eat. So I'm going to go ahead and just take a spoonful. Oh, it's soft, and that custard is so creamy. And I can see the cream cheese filling that we put in. It's beautiful. But let's not forget a little bit of ice cream to go on top. Not much, just a little bit. And that'll melt right down on it. And look how pretty that is. Well, I think it's time to dig in and give it a taste test. I can't wait. Seriously, if you're not into flambe and you don't want to make Bananas Fosters that way, this is a great alternative. I'm telling you, it is that good. I wouldn't be standing here telling you if it wasn't. You have got to try this Banana Foster bread pudding. It is amazing. Well, I hope you guys liked our video today. It was a lot of work, but it was worth every second of it. So if you like our videos, please give us a thumbs up and subscribe. If you are not a subscriber, please do. It really helps us out. If you are a subscriber, thank you guys so much for your subscription and watching our videos and all your comments. We love you guys. I hope you can make some Banana Foster's bread pudding and make it look as beautiful as this. Let me know if you do. And until next time we do another video, have a great afternoon and God bless you.